My father used to be a good man, though he was never there for me and my sister Louisa growing up. He used to work 2 jobs, and he worked all the time. This was because he always wanted to make sure that there was food on the table for my mom, my sister, and myself. It was because he grew up in poverty himself that he didn't want me and my sister to go hungry. I always used to overhear my parents arguing. My dad always used to say, "I never want my children to go hungry like I used to." He became too overworked, and when he wasn't working, he used to be too tired to play with us. The thing is, despite him making it his #1 priority to feed me and my sister, he himself had a bad habit for binge eating. He would eat a lot on his lunch break, and he would go for midnight snacks when everyone else was asleep. Fortunately, for a while, my mom used to help him not eat too much food. Unfortunately, my mom was involved in an accident and passed outside. In his grief, he developed a binge eating disorder, eating multiple meals a day, ordering takeaways and snacking all the time. He tried to fight it by throwing out all the food, keeping himself busy. One day, he was walking down the street when a homeless man approached him, asking for food. My dad told him he didn't have any food, but he gave him some money. Despite this, the man grabbed my dad and started biting his arm, ripping off flesh and then telling my dad, "Sorry, but I wanted meat," before running away. My dad went to the hospital to have it treated. When he came home, he felt ill and quarantined himself. During this time, his binge eating disorder got much worse. He started eating food mostly unhealthy, 24/7. Mostly snacks and takeaway meals. With all of this binge eating and lack of exercise, he gained lots and lots of weight until he became extremely obese. My older sister Louisa and we had to come help and support him. I was 18, and Louisa was in her early 20s. I had to leave college, and my Louisa had to leave her flat, quit her job. So she was pissed, but we both had to help him. We had to clean the house, help him bathe, and we also both had to work 2 jobs each to afford the house and everything. Me and Louisa decided to help our dad. We forced him on a diet, making him eat less and less food, in hopes that he would lose some weight. Unfortunately, our dad kept on begging and begging for more food, even when he'd just eaten. He yelled out to us in the middle of the night and even cried. One night, I felt bad and I couldn't put up with his begging, so I tried to give him food. But my sister caught me on the way to his bedroom. We argued and she lectured me, so I left. His begging continued. Sometimes he started crying, which then made us cry. It was horrifying, seeing our own dad like this. We just wanted him to get better. Then one day our dad would only beg for meat. When we tried to give him other food, which my sister insisted on giving him a diet consuming of vegetables, he wouldn't eat anything that wasn't meat. No vegetables, no chips, or anything else, just meat. When we did give him meat, he would beg for more. Louisa used to say that this was a good thing because he would lose weight not eating unhealthy snacks anymore, and we just needed to put him on a limited meat diet. The final night, Louisa and I cooked a big gammon steak for our dad. He scarfed it down, not eating the potatoes on the plate, and then he demanded more. My sister refused, saying that he'd eaten enough for today. My dad begged, saying he was starving, and once again started crying for more meat. I couldn't take my dad begging like that, so I cooked up some chicken. Louisa walked into the kitchen and turned the oven off. We argued about it, until I gave up and I went into my room for the night. In my bedroom, I heard my dad calling for my sister. It took a while for my sister to actually go into his room. After a couple of minutes, I heard my sister screaming. I ran towards his room and I saw my dad lifting my sister with her stomach in his mouth. He was eating her. I stood there, frozen, and that's when he turned towards me. Blood around his mouth, tears running down his eyes. When he looked at me and said,
"I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm just so hungry."